Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and it's Tuesday. So, welcome to Stories and Stamps. This is the last installment of the story of Jackie and Gerard. And usually I have things written down, a few points, so that I don't forget anything, but I'm hoping that this is still so fresh in my mind that I'm not going to need notes. And yes, there is going to be stamping. I'm doing a fun stamp today called, oh goodness, what's it called? Sunny Splash with some retro bathing suits. I love this set. So, but before we get started with stamps, we left off with a bit of a heartbreak and a shocker where I had gone back to Holland um, at 20 for Christmas to be with my family, and I didn't know that Gerard had fallen back in love with me. And I ended up going back to Canada, finding out that I was pregnant with, with some, in a very shocking way, but that's okay. Um, and then I got married to Jeff, and we were married for 29 years, almost 30, five wonderful kids. And then things happened to show me that he really wasn't happy, made some poor choices. And it was right before my 50th birthday, and I decided that I thought we were finally doing really, really well. Rachel was in France. Oliver was had decided to go to Australia, and so we were empty nesters a little earlier than I thought we would be. And I knew that that was going to be the true test of if whether or not our marriage would survive. And it was going really well. So it was a total shock when I found out that it was not actually the case. And then it was with some encouragement from my daughter Katrina, some very strong encouragement. And she kind of made me realize that even though it was such a scary step to make, and especially it went against everything that I hold true, marriage is for life. I was so against divorce. But she said, you know what? You have a whole crowd of people behind you that love you and support you, and you're not alone, and you can do this. You just have to be brave enough to take the first step. And so I did. I decided to get divorced. And actually, I think I will, if I can find Katrina's blog post, I will share it in here because it's really, really powerful. And you might find yourself on the precipice of a difficult decision. And this just rang so true for me. And after I made the decision, I had complete peace. I did not have sleepless nights. Of course, my heart was broken. This all happened in right before my 50th birthday. So I had just finished making all the plans for I had earned the incentive trip to Thailand, and I had just made all the plans for the excursions. I wanted to go to that bridge. I can't even remember what it's called, but where, the railroad bridge that the slave labor from the prisoners of war made in Thailand. That was one of the things. But anyway, Katrina told me that she would come with me. And Stampin' Up, I did have to buy her ticket, but Stampin' Up did allow her to swap out for Jeff for the resort. So that was really, really nice. We went we went to a beautiful elephant sanctuary. We had a fantastic trip. But before I went to Thailand, it was already planned that I would go to France because Rachel was on a Rotary exchange trip, and I was going to spend 3 weeks with her in France. Then we were going to go for a week to Holland together. Then she was going back to France. I would spend one more week in Holland, and then I was flying from Amsterdam to Thailand, and then Jeff was going to meet me in Thailand. But instead, Katrina met me there. And it was while I was in France and then in Holland that Gerard had heard from the family. Of course, it spread like wildfire that I was getting divorced. And so we decided to meet for coffee. Well, I think we probably had some wine in a city square just to connect and to see if there was anything there. And so there was absolutely no commitment at all. I said, the bar is really, really, really high. I need to be head over heels in love. It has to blow my mind. It just has to be something so beautiful that I can't say no. And so we decided that we would kind of wait through the summer and call. So and we emailed for a little while, and then I got a free app on my phone so we could call internationally for free. And it wasn't WhatsApp yet. It was something called Viber. And yeah, and it wasn't until the next year that that we got together. So we're going to do some stamping first. Okay, let's transfer here. All right, so I'm going to be using these pretty embellishments. These are the new in color embellishments, the matte decorative dots. And don't they just scream summer to you? Yeah. They're a little softer than the actual in colors. It's like they've been covered over with vellum. Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. So here is the stamp. And you know what I'm going to start with? I have a piece of, what's this called? Ooh, Calypso Coral. A perfect stamp set for, color for the beach. Now, so I have the Sunny Splash, and I'm going to use this bathing suit here. Such a cute retro 50s bathing suit. And if you took a minute to see the last video that I posted with all the photos of my parents, this reminds me of my mom so much. She had a bathing suit just like this. So what I want to show you is just how you can do some tone-on-tone stamping with Versamark. So Versamark is a clear watermark ink, and I'm hoping I'm going to go stamp off here. And we're just going to make a pattern. And then I'm also going to show it to you with some clear embossing. And I'm just using the same bathing suit instead of switching it up. There's 4 different ones in there. So you can use this as background paper. It's subtle. See? And it's sorry about the shadows. It's a gray, overcast day. It's actually a good thing. We've needed some rain. So I'm going to leave that like this. And now we're going to do another one. And I'm going to clear emboss this one, and you'll see the difference. And maybe we'll step it up a notch and do a couple different bathing suits. I don't know. No, maybe not. So you notice, see how I'm staggering the bathing suits so that they're not all, they don't have to be exactly the same. I'm not wanting to make a geometric pattern, but some of the bathing suits are going off the edge, and it just makes it a bit more of an interesting pattern. Okay, so now I should have a coffee filter, but I don't have one right here. We have a new product coming out. It's an embossing tray, so that's pretty handy. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking behind me to see if I have that coffee filter anywhere. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it just right on my grid paper and scoop it up. It's not the way I like to do it, but necessity is the mother of invention. So this is clear embossing powder. Give it a good flick, and you'll see that it's white now. Okay, I'm going to just take a minute and put the embossing powder back in my container. Okay, so we're going to heat emboss this. So for embossing, you stamp in Versamark, and then you put the powder on, and then you heat set it. So I'm just holding on to it, and you'll see it turn clear. I'm not waving it about. There it goes. And I see I have to trim this stamp a little bit. Now I'm just going to turn that off for a sec. In that a new embossing kit, there's a brush, and that's kind of important. I don't have it yet, but I should get it. See, then you can brush away those lines where you don't want them to be. I don't want that embossing powder there. So sometimes you get embossing powder where you don't want it to go. The embossing buddy is also back in that kit. There, so now you can see how shiny it is? So that just steps it up a notch for the background paper. Now I'm going to show you, this is really interesting. Let me just have a look. This stamp also needs trimming. So this is the first time I stamped the Hello Sunshine. And then the second time I wanted to punch it out. You can see here I punched it out and here it is done properly. But without the trimming done and with a little bit more of an enthusiastic press, I got ink where I don't want it to go. Okay, so I trimmed it off. You can see here, and you can see that it's kind of jagged, the lines. That's okay. It just trims off that extra bit that you don't want. Okay, so I punched and stamped a bunch of bathing suits. So here they are. There's 4 different bathing suits. Isn't that so cute? I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. So here we have the bathing suits, and I fussy cut them. There isn't a punch or a die. They fussy cut quite easily. I didn't cut out the white part in the inside. If you wanted to do that, you could. Now, here, we're going to stamp again, and this time I'm going to use the Stamparatus. So I have some white here, and I'm going to show you a little trick. I don't have the new punch from the new catalog yet. This is the old Label Me Fancy punch. Here we have some white. And then I'm going to take this stamp and put it right here. I'm going to stamp it first in Pale Papaya. And then, let's have a look-see. So yeah, this time I can't stamp and talk at the same time with the story. I don't want to forget anything. So I'm just going to do some stamping. So here it is in Pale Papaya. Oops. Come on, Jackie. Get it in the picture. So here it is in Pale Papaya. And now I want to add something to it. I don't want it just in that color. I'm going to take my Sweet Sorbet, and let's get this better into the picture. I'm going to take my blending brush, see? And we're going to ink up the blending brush. And I'm just going to swab it on the bottom of the stamp. And let's see what happens. I don't know how much I got on there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's exactly the look that I was going for. So I used my blending brush just to dab some ink on the bottom. This reminds me of a tropical drink that you get on the cruise ship. I'm really, really hoping to be able to take Gerard on this next incentive trip, but I'm going to need your help to do it. So please, if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love your business, okay? Message me, contact me, let me know what you need, or just click on the links below. So here I have the Label Me Fancy punch. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna cut it out and then I'm gonna try something different. So in the catalog, they had it stepped up again. I'm going to put this back in the Stamparatus. And we're going to put this in here and use it as a, like so. We're going to take this off. And then they had just the word paradise from here. This is tricky. See how it says anywhere with you is paradise? That is how I feel about this lovely man. So it's perfect. Now I'm going to lay this like so. There. And then, I don't know if I have my in-color markers yet. Let's have a look-see. I don't have the in-color marker, so I'm going to do it in Pale Papaya. I'm just going to, let me move this. I'm going to just take my marker and color the paradise. And see if it's dark enough. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, hello Sunshine Paradise. I can go over it once more, I guess. I'm just inking it up, the words with the marker. And there. Yeah, perfect. I got a little extra dot, but that's okay. So this is really cute. And now I'm going to talk for a minute. Move this out of the way. So let's have a look. See, here we go. So we decided we've been emailing, and then we've been chatting on the phone, and then it was about, oh goodness, it must have been at least a year later that we decided that we would up it to video calls. I don't know why we didn't do that sooner, but we were just happy with the sound of our voice. We were still old fashioned. Um, so then we started video calling, and yeah, it was about a year and a half, not quite, 15 months later that Gerard came to Canada for just a long weekend, just to spend. There was no one else. It was kind of it reminded me a little bit, if you guys have seen the Thornbirds, and when they spend a couple days or a weekend at the beach in a little like hut. We spent at my brother's cottage, and it was so incredible, absolutely incredible. And so we decided that we would, take our time. It ended up taking a lot longer than I thought. I thought we'd be married within the year. It was, I mean, I was head over heels in love. He was everything I had hoped and dreamed for and more. And but then, the vicissitudes of life, and I realized, because his youngest daughter was living with him, and I realized that I was not cut out to be a stepmom, and especially not at that age. The kids have been raised differently, and I just didn't want to complicate things. So we said, you know what, we're just going to take our time and wait till it's just the two of us. And so we traveled back and forth. Gerard can only come for about a max of 10 days because he has a greenhouse, and plants are like animals. They need food and water, and they have to be checked for disease. And so he can't come longer than that. And I would stay for longer than that. And, at first I stayed in different places, and then only in the last little while have I stayed at Gerard's house. And it's been really wonderful. Yes, a lot of traveling back and forth. And the other question that people have asked, well, what are you going to do now? So after we get married on August 27th, and yes, it will be live streamed on YouTube, then I'm moving to Holland for 4 years. That's what we think. And he's planning to operate his greenhouse till he's 60. And that's what we're thinking now. Our plans are made loosely. And while I'm in Holland, I will fly back to Canada 3 times a year for about a month at a time. So then I can visit with my kids and my parents. I'm going to do one Stampin' Up! Event and one team event in that time. And I'm hoping that it works really well. I'm so excited to be spending more time. It's going to be really nice for us to have bigger chunks of time together and more of a structured life. So that's going to be really awesome. I'm hoping that my business will keep running through my online presence on YouTube. I'm always posting links so that you can shop with me. I know that a lot of you are seasoned stampers, and if you're new stampers, I'm totally open to doing one-on-one Zoom lessons. And if you're in Canada and you're here, I mean, sure, come over. We'll set a time. We'll stamp together, and yeah, just communicate what your needs are, and I'm happy to help. Now we're going to do some more stamping. Oh, sorry, I had to think for a minute. Okay, so we're going to put this card together. I think I want to use this one, and we've got a Coastal Cabana card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And I haven't decided yet if I want to use this one or the shiny one. So I'll put them beside each other. Here, here, and then, oh yeah, I want to add some ribbon, and then the bathing suits are just kind of going to go around. I kind of like it like this. I kind of got the idea from the catalog. So what we're going to do is, I have a yellow gingham. This just reminds me, this is so retro. It makes me think of the 50s. I don't know why. The color isn't in here at all, but I'm going to lay it aside for this one. Although I really do love this shiny thing here. And then we're going to use this pale papaya ribbon on the back. So what I'm going to do is take some strong adhesive. Oh, you know what? My adhesive has been moved. So let's hold on for a sec. Okay, so I've got some Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm just covering the back of this. That's to make the ribbon stick. And then I want to take the end. I don't want that fraying, so I'm going to cut it on the diagonal, like so. And you know, one of the benefits to me reconnecting with Gerard is that I've also been able to reconnect with my family in Holland. I have cousins there and aunts and uncles that normally when you go to visit for a short time, you just can't see them all. But because I'm there for bigger stretches, I've been able to cultivate wonderful relationships, and I'm so, so thankful for that. It's just been a bonus. The other bonus is that I come home with stories from my parents, and they connect. They can live vicariously through me, so that's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up at the top. Let's see. Here we go. Some dimensionals. There. I just booked my next retreat for my team. We had so much fun. We found a different place. So in December, we're going again. I love fostering connection with my team. And, you know, if you're a customer and you're interested in a stamping getaway, let me know. I'm going to do this a little bit to the side. And you know what? I'll probably take a picture of the second card. I think I'll just do one. And I kind of like it like that. And you know what? We might as well pop them up. It's just fun. I'm going to close my ink pad for a minute. I am pre-recording this video because then I can do it as a premiere and I can watch with you. Be sure to click on the red subscribe button so that you get notified of my videos in the future. It's one of my team members was just saying how much she likes it now that she's done that. She doesn't miss anything anymore. I mean, not that I'm so full of myself that I think you have to see all my videos, but you know, when you like to see someone's content, it's nice to not miss anything. There, and this one's going to go on a bit of an angle. It's funny because I didn't choose a papaya bathing suit on here. I have one, and maybe I should have. I'll put that one in the inside. So now we're just going to use some liquid adhesive to put this on the card. I hope I was in the picture for that. Sorry. Sometimes I get carried away with talking and stamping that I forget to look at my screen to make sure I'm in where I'm supposed to be. Especially if after I've zoomed in, then that could be a problem. So here we go. So tone on tone for the cardstock. And I purposely chose not to pop up this panel because otherwise it's going to get too thick. It's going to cost me extra postage. But it's really a cute card, I think. There. The clear embossing really adds to it. So now we do want to finish off our card. Let's have a look. I need to trim this. Oh, here's the paper trimmer. So I'm going to trim this to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to here. Normally I use computer paper so that people can take out the insert and just add their own and regift the card. It's an environmentally friendly way to keep cards going. And now I think I want to just take this and put it in the inside like so. That's cute. And do I want to stamp anything? Whoopsie. Let's have a look-see. There. Oh, and then the finishing touch is you could add some of these cute little embellishments. Let's see. I'm doing it tone on tone. I don't know if that's a good idea here. Oh no, you don't even see it. That's cute. Look at that. Oh my word. And I'm just going to do a green one if I can get it. It's, oh yeah, you flip it on its back like a turtle. And maybe I'll do a double one there. Yeah, that works the best. If you flip it over, you can catch it. How cute is that? And I'm going to leave the other one just plain. So I hope that that you enjoyed the card. Let me have a peek at the stamp set if I could find it. Here we go. Hello, Sunshine Paradise. Wishing you were here. Yeah, that's what we're going to stamp in the inside. So, yeah, it's a good thing to get in the habit. I know when I was on trips, I had demonstrators that were more organized than I was. They would have stamps with them, an envelope, so that they could send their cards from the trip. So really cute. It's a great stamp set. I hope you fall in love with it too, as we're talking about falling in love. So yes, so that's how we reconnected. It was the power of family and news spreading like wildfire. And then just having to be, when I was in Holland that last week before flying out to Thailand, I wasn't going to agree to meet because I thought it was too soon. And I thought I was using my head again. And then I thought, you know what? You have the opportunity now. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's not a commitment. You're in a public space. You're just getting together in the afternoon, and then you'll know. And then we proceeded slowly, and yeah, and it was good. It was good. Even though we were both, fell in love very quickly again, it was good to take time and to be sure, and because you don't want to rush into anything. Um, act in haste, repent in leisure. They say. Did that once, and don't want to make that mistake again. So I'm looking forward to the rest of our lives together, and yeah, and I'm excited that you'll be able to join in on the wedding and see all that too. So anyway, that is the story of Jackie and Gerard, and I'm sure there'll be many chapters to follow, and I'm looking forward to when he can finally join me in my business because I think he's going to be such an asset to me. And I hope that I can take him on this incentive trip this year. Well, it'll be next year, but I have till the end of September to earn it. And because I've been traveling so much and not being able to do in-person classes, it has really affected my business. So don't think that I don't need you. I do. All right. Have a super day, and thanks for joining me. Bye.